if you are finding yourself in a state of lack of motivation or lack of inspiration to do your projects, and you're worried that you might never find that motivation again, or you might never find that inspiration again, well, I'm here to tell you that you really have nothing to worry about. Because those desires and those passions that you have are deeply rooted within you. They are so deeply rooted within you that they are truly part of you. And subconsciously, that really creates a bias in the sense that wherever you go and wherever you end up, whatever you do, you will naturally flow back towards those passions and those desires because they're so rooted within you. So you really have nothing to worry about when it comes to finding those desires again, finding that inspiration again. It will come back. And also, as humans, we have this natural desire to want to do things, to want to expand. So even though right now you find yourself in this slump, just as a human, you will naturally eventually get the desire to get out of your slump. You will naturally feel this, feel your energy come back gradually so that you can get out of this state of no motivation and no inspiration. As humans, we have the natural desire to want to show up every single day the same way, or at least today, in today's society, we tend to have that desire to show up every single day and to really be productive for long periods of time, and to do that every single day without taking any breaks. And we tend to feel guilty for taking breaks. And it's a very human thing to think that way. From a psychological standpoint, it's a very human thing. But it's funny because at the same time, physically, it is not human at all. It is not human at all to show up that way in your life and to expect yourself to be productive that many hours every single day without taking any breaks. And the proof is that when you do that, a lot of the time you end up burning out because it's too much, because your body is taking on too much, or you're putting too much on your body. And that leads me to the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is that the way that you can look at it from you having a lack of motivation and having a period of time during which you have a lack of motivation and lack of inspiration. It's truly your body telling you that you need a break from that, or that your body telling you that it needs a break from that. It needs a break from that project. And it's a very normal thing to experience, to have this period of time that is more like a downtime. Because if you think about nature, it really moves in seasons, and in nature, change is consistent. So it moves in seasons, and there are seasons during which there's a boost of energy. I'm saying energy because I'm thinking about plants. There's the springtime during which all the flowers go back out, and they have all this energy, and they get the nutrients in the soil, all this energy to push out and to open up and to grow. And you have the summer, and then the autumn, and then winter. And every single season is very unique, and you could consider winter as this downtime because everything is dead. There are no plants, and the trees, they had shed their leaves so that they can spend the winter just with their branches, stay put. They're staying put through the winter so that when spring comes around, then they can start to bloom again. And I believe that during this downtime that you have, during which you have a lack of motivation and lack of inspiration, you can really take the trees as a good example. It's not about during the winter. It wouldn't make any sense for a tree during the winter to try to push out new leaves. It's the winter. You're supposed to ground yourself and to stay put during the winter. And then when the season arrives, when the spring season comes back around, then you're in better circumstances and better conditions to start blooming again. So when you are going through your period of lack of inspiration and lack of motivation, take example from the trees. It's the time to breathe, first of all, to breathe and to ground yourself, to stay put. And I'm not saying that to try to get you to just do nothing. It's important to still stay accountable, be accountable of the efforts that you put in. I'm really not saying just stay there, do nothing, and wait for the time to pass and wait for everything to come to you. But I'm just saying, don't demonize so much that period of time, that downtime that you have right now, because it is normal. It is normal to flow through different seasons and through different periods that are not the same. Some are less productive than others, and that is okay. And sometimes we do need to spark the motivation and spark the inspiration ourselves. It can be very good to do that because yes, sometimes it will come to us, but a lot of the times also we need to spark the inspiration and the motivation. So if you feel like you be ready to try to spark, to spark it yourself and to try to make some efforts to get back into, I was going to say get back into your grind, but just get back into your routine of being productive, for example. Something that you could try is just put a timer on. Put a timer on and commit to 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes of your time to sit down and work on your projects. Now, during that 5 minutes, there might be some ideas that will pop into your head. Maybe it will spark some sort of inspiration. So if it does, by all means, act on that. Act on those ideas. Try to figure them out and deepen those ideas. You're already sitting there working. So by all means, do all of that. And you'll see that maybe the 5 minutes will turn into 30 minutes or an hour. And that's beautiful and that's great. But the other way around, if you set your timer and you commit to working on your projects working on your project for 5 minutes, and during that 5 minutes and at the end of that 5 minutes, you really didn't get any new ideas, it didn't spark any motivation or any inspiration, it's very important for you to know that it's okay. It's absolutely okay. And the way that I see it, it's a win-win situation, because if after 5 minutes, like I said, it didn't spark anything, it's okay, step away. Because you know what? You showed up. That's what I mean by it's a win-win situation. Even if you didn't have any ideas and your 5 minutes didn't turn into an hour, it was still 5 minutes. So you showed up. That's how you win in that scenario. You showed up today because now you can feel good about the fact that, you know what? Even if I didn't get any new ideas, and even if I didn't really get that spark back, that inspiration back, at least I showed up today. I worked on my project today. And you can try again tomorrow. The same thing. And the day after that. And you can try this exercise as many times as you want. And sometimes there are days that 5 minutes might turn into an hour. And there are other days that 5 minutes might just be 5 minutes, and that's okay. It is absolutely okay. Don't worry about how long it will take. until you get that motivation again and you get that inspiration again and that you feel like you're on the roll again. Trust in your human nature, in what I said earlier about how naturally as humans we have this desire to expand and to grow, and we have this trust that your natural desire to expand will pull you out of your slump. Trust that you will get that desire to get out of your slump. It is naturally ingrained within you. It will naturally come up and motivate you to get out of your slump. And also trust in yourself. Trust in not only all the passions and the desires that are deeply rooted within you. And the reason why I'm saying that they're deeply rooted within you and that they are part of you is that those desires and those passions, they're not choices. You didn't choose your passions, you just discovered them. So they're truly part of you, and trust that naturally you will flow back towards them. And trust in that bias that you have. It's subconsciously, you have the bias to go towards those passions and those desires. Remember who you are. Remember that you are a person that has drive and that has this hunger for life, and you have all these amazing ideas for projects and for things that you want to do. And do you really think that you're just gonna sit here forever for your entire life and not end up getting that spark again? Remember who you are. Allow yourself to breathe and trust that everything that is deeply rooted within you, your passions and your desires, will always catch up to you. No matter where you end up, no matter what you do, they will always, always catch up to you.